Hello and welcome to a guide to the karting section of the Ayrton Senna tribute in Gran Turismo 6. First of all, I used a Logictech Driving Force GT to record these laps, so if you're on a pad it might be trickier, it might be easier. I did this with no assists, as you can see, no traction control, and also in this particular mission, I suppose you'd call it, you don't get the option to use the driving line, so you've got no help there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you my best lap at half speed, just so you can see the lines I was using, and I can explain a little bit about, where I was braking, etc. And then I'll show you the same lap again at full speed to give you an idea of how it was done. Okay, so this is about 30% of real-time speed. So this is just before you start. On the very first corner, before you even start your actual hot lap, you want to clip the inside of this corner, not too tight, because you see those cones, you touch the cones with your kart, that's it. That's the end of your lap. So make sure not to go too far over the white line, then drift over to the left-hand side. It's also worth remembering that the rear of your kart is slightly wider than where the front wheels are, so you've got to bear that in mind when you're trying to clip those apexes and get close to those cones. So, look, fast as you can, obviously flat out down the start, finish straight. As far over to the left-hand side as possible, and then coming up on your right is the first chicane. You want to go through here absolutely flat. Spot it, turn in close to there, not too close, and then through the second one, getting close to the cones, but again, don't clip them. Then we're going to hug this next slight right-hand curve, and you'll see on the right there's a little patch of tarmac on the right-hand side. You brake just before there, and then hug this first hairpin quite tight. It's all about keeping a tight line through these hairpins, because these karts don't accelerate quickly, so you can see nice and tight through there, and then back on the power as early as possible. Just easing over slightly to the right. There's no point going all the way over to the right-hand side, taking the full line, because that's just a waste of time. Then we come into two chicanes. You want to go over to the right-hand side, and then instead of treating these chicanes as a left-right-left combo, treat them as a straight line and then a right and then a left. So into that one, going in straight and going right, and then just tweaking left. And then this one again, go towards the middle of the track, and then point the kart. So I'm going straight. See there, and then you can take 2 turns through this instead of 3. Because if you're going left, right, left, you're unsettling the kart more than if you're simply going right, left. Now this corner is key. You've got to brake very gently. You can see I'm left foot braking here, just to slow it down ever so slightly. Then I'm hugging this corner all the way through, keeping it really tight, not going over to the right-hand side at all, which gives me a great line through this next right-hand corner. And the important thing on these corners is you can understeer the kart slightly to get round quicker. So as you see, punch it in quite hard, and then aim to get out the middle of the track. And then the same with this one. You can push it through as hard as you dare. You can go a bit wider on the exit of this one. Then second to last corner. Don't brake for this corner at all. Just clip it as hard as you dare. You can use the curbs. And then the final hairpin, I messed up slightly here, but again, you want to try and hug the hairpin all the way around as tightly as possible. You see, I missed the apex quite badly, but I still make it in under the minute. And remember, on these last corner, I took a big gamble there, going that far over the lines. Much more than that, and that'll be game over. And again, these cones, again, like you did just before the start, clip them, but not too hard. Only about halfway over the white line. Don't go over to the left. There's no point. That's a waste of your time. So just keep it flat and keep on the right-hand side. And hopefully, that'll be quick enough to get around the lap. It took me a good half an hour to get this time on gold. As you can see, in there with 0.9 of a second to spare. So it's very quick, which is why I had to slow it down, because otherwise I couldn't explain what I was doing. So now let's watch that lap again in real time. Okay, so clipping that clipping that corner but not too tight, drifting over as far to the left-hand side as possible. Then swiftly through, no braking at all, absolutely flat through this chicane. Watch out for the patch of gravel on that right-hand side for your braking point. Hug it tight. Back on the power as early as you can. Don't drift out too far to the right. Then remember for the chicanes, we want to treat them as 2 corners instead of 3. So straight in, right, and then left. Ever so slightly. It's only the smallest movements. And again, straight in, right, and then left. Then left foot braking, just scrubbing the speed off and going tight round that corner to give you a good line through this one. Pushing with a little bit of understeer, get end up in the middle of the road, then drift to the right hand side. Make sure you're going flat on the accelerator through this one. You're sure you could do better on that corner than I did, so brake a little bit earlier. Remember not to cross the lines too hard or hit the cones, very important. Then remember on that final corner, don't drift over to the left, keep to the right hand side. That'll take maybe 0.1 of a second, and there you go. 59.112 seconds. It's not an amazing time, but it got me the gold. And that's what you're really after, let's face it. So there you have it. All three cups done in one go. And I've got the 200% bonus. That's 900,000 credits. And also you get the Kart and the special Ayrton Senna outfit from 1982. And here's the Kart. Quite nice. So, thanks for watching. Hope that guide proved useful, and I'll be back with more guides for the rest of the Ayrton Senna tribute events. See you then.